All right, everyone, welcome, welcome. Happy yoga. So this is a 45-minute Yin Vinyasa class, which I love teaching. It's the best of both worlds. First half is going to be flow, and then second half is going to be more Yin style poses and a class, which is where we slow down, hold poses, and really just get the stretchy part of yoga, the stretchy type of benefits. So for tonight, nothing special that we're going to focus on in particular physically, other than making sure we get a well-rounded practice and experience. So we're going to move our shoulders, our hips, and our spine, and the three major joints, I'll say, that we target in yoga. We're going to get all those areas moving in all directions. So just one thing to think of in terms of your spine moves in 6 different ways. It goes forward, it goes backward, goes laterally to one side, laterally to the other, that's 4, and then twist 5, twist the other side 6. So we're gonna move it in all different directions so that you leave this class feeling rejuvenated and restored. So first, let's start in a comfortable seated position. Just turn my cell phone off for a moment so you get no disruptions. So a nice seated position is going to be great. I prefer to sit on something, find a block or a pillow or a blanket, and let your legs cross, or you can sit on your shins, or feel free to sit on your couch if that's more comfy for you. Let your hands fall down, your elbows be loose, and together inhale and lengthen and lift your spine. And exhale and just feel your hips root into the ground, into what you're sitting on. Do 3 more of those conscious breaths. Inhale to feel the length upward in your spine. Exhale and feel your hips root into what's underneath you. Inhale, notice length up your spine and also up your neck. Exhale to feel your body root downward. Last one with your eyes open. Inhale to keep your spine long all the way through your neck, through the crown of your head. Exhale, feel your hips sink as you keep your spine tall, and close your eyes and breathe normally on your own. If it helps, you can continue to inhale and focus on length through your upper body. And when you exhale, to focus on rooting, grounding as you breathe out in your lower body. Otherwise, just breathe, be, and feel. Yoga, this practice invites us to go inward. We're often being pulled in different directions, to different people, to different things. Sometimes we feel like we're being pulled around by our own emotions and our own thoughts. But right now, just be. Imagine that all of those things around you are starting to come to within you. Bring your focus from what's around you to what's within you. Soften your jaw and your eyebrows. Once again, allowing yourself to be. With your eyes closed, bring your hands to the floor next to you. And then inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead, nice deep breath. And bring your hands down at chest center, keeping that length in your spine and that grounded connection for your lower body. And as you stay here with your hands at chest center, this is a mudra, or a gesture of your hands where your left and your right come together in the middle. It's a mudra that represents balance and equanimity. Take a moment to appreciate what is and what feels at balance in your own life. Even if it's just your left elbow, or not your left elbow, then your right ribs. But just finding something in your life that feels a balance, and just giving a moment to appreciate that. And then very slowly start to open your eyes. Let your hands drop down next to you, and then swing your legs around. Good, great work to start. Come onto all fours into a tabletop pose. Onto your hands and onto your knees. And we're going to warm up your spine with cat and cow. So on your inhale, you're going to lift your tailbone, lift your chest, and lift your chin. And then exhale, you're going to round your back, arc it up to the ceiling, and hug your chin towards your chest. Yeah, press your back up to the ceiling. And now a few more times with your breath. Inhale into cow. Exhale and round into cat. Inhale into cow. Exhale and round into cat. You can go at my pace or change it to match you. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more round. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to center, breathe in at neutral, and then plank pose. Exhale and fire up your whole body. Press your body away from the floor. If you're drooping to the floor, likely you'll look like this, where your body's kind of sagging down, your shoulders are towards your ears, but you press up and away, hollow out your armpits, and hold for 3. Good modification is to lower one knee or both knees. And then lower yourself all the way to the ground, using your knees or not. And then once you're here, bring your hands back behind you and interlace them. Hug your legs close towards each other. You may have to wiggle to get there. And then inhale, lift everything up into a locust with your hands clasped. Good. We're strengthening the back of your body while opening across to the front of your chest and shoulders. Hug your legs in and lift them up. Inhale. Lower to the ground and exhale. Good. Curl your toes under. Use your hands and your knees to push you up into a downward facing dog. Good. Have your feet be about 6 inches apart. And press your heels straight back so that you can't see them. If you can see your heels, then either your toes are turned too far out or too far in. So align your toes straight forward and heels straight back. With your hands, push your yoga mat forward like you're trying to stretch it out. And together, let's take 3 controlled breaths. So inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. And try not to grasp for air. Try to breathe it in slow. So inhale through your nose. Breathe gently and slowly, non-grasping. And then exhale, breathe it out. Last one, inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose or mouth. Good. And walk your feet all the way to your hands, nice and slow. Everything we do on a mat is in a mindful pace. Bring your feet 6 inches apart. Interlace your hands behind your back, bend your knees a bit, And hug your shoulder blades towards each other to bring your arms overhead. Make sure you're lifting your hands away from your back, as if you're trying to bring your arms all the way over to the ground. If your hands can touch the ground here, likely something really bad is happening. So the goal is not to get to the ground, just in that direction. Let your eyes be softened, be soft, and soften your jaw. If you feel comfortable, straighten your legs just a little bit more and take 2 more breaths at a nice steady pace, kind of the same pace you were just doing in down dog. And then lower your hands down to the floor and bring your feet close towards each other, a little bit at a time. Come into halfway lift to lengthen your back. Nice, hold here. So your hands are to your shins. If your hamstrings are really flexible, you can have your fingertips to the floor with a long spine. Good, and then forward fold. And then one more time, halfway lift for a long back, inhale. And then forward fold, stretch your hamstrings, release the weight of your head, give it a little shake. Come up to standing, lift your arms up to the sky, nice deep breath, inhale. And then bring your hands at chest center. Good, that same mudra with your hands, with your left and right hand touching at your center, a gesture of balance. Close your eyes. Take a moment again to recognize and appreciate anything within you or in your life that's at balance. Good. Let your arms drop down next to you. Sweep your arms up and overhead, inhale. And then forward fold down, exhale. Good. Come into halfway lift again, that long spine. And step your right foot all the way back. Lower your knee down to the ground. Point your back toes, that's it. That'll help stretch the front of your right ankle. Lift your arms up and overhead. And then interlace your hands at your lower back, just like you were doing before. Move your hips forward and down. And then lift your chest and try to drag your knuckles down your back leg. Good, hug your shoulder blades back towards your spinal column. And open your throat, lift your chin. One more breath. Lift your arms up and overhead, inhale. Let your hands drop down to the ground and move your left foot outside of your right hand. Good. Or outside of your left hand, excuse me. And then walk your hands out in front of you. This kind of lizard lunge. Hug your left knee towards your left shoulder. And hold and breathe for about 3 more breaths. Nice, walk your hands back inside your foot. Plant your hands, curl your back toes under, plank pose, step both feet back. Lower your knees and lower your chest between your thumbs and lower your chin so that your hips are up in the air. Good. And then lower and snake down and forward and back and come into a baby cobra so your hips are dropped. Good, take 1 more breath. Hug your shoulders down and away from your ears. Lower your chest, curl your toes, downward dog. You can use your knees to help you or do it with straight legs. Lift your right foot up to the sky as you inhale. Step your right foot all the way to your hands. Ground your left hand to the floor. Inhale your right arm up to the sky. Good, and then bring your chest and your inner right thigh towards each other. There you go. 3. Let your right hip drop. Woo, you'll feel that in your glute. You'll feel that stretch. Lower your hands to the ground and come to standing splits with your left leg up to the ceiling. Great pose to use blocks for your hands. The blocks lift the floor up to you. Take 1 more breath as you breathe in. Spread your top toes. And then forward fold. Drop both feet down front. Move the blocks to the side, halfway lift, inhale. and forward fold, exhale. And then we're gonna end this little series by coming into chair, bend both knees, sweep your arms up and high above you and sit back and down so you can see your toenails. Once you see your toenails, look forward with your eyes. Keep your lower body stationary. Inhale, sweep your arms up towards your ears, 3. Hold as you are or sit lower. Inhale here. Stand up, hands at chest center, exhale. Good, let's do it again. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold down. Halfway lift as you inhale, lengthen your back. Step your left foot back and lower your knee to the floor. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky, and then take your hands at your low back and interlace them. Move your hips forward and down first. You'll stretch your hip flexors and your quad. Hug your shoulder blades back, lift your chest, and as if you're drawing your hands to the back of your back knee. Good, 3, feel a back bend through your upper spine. Nice, lift your chin and then lift your arms up, inhale, reset. And lower your hands inside of your right foot. Bring your right foot to the edge of the mat, the side. Walk both hands out in front of you, like you're in this kind of crawling lizard lunge. Let the weight of your head lower down in the direction of the floor. And your right knee, hug it towards your right shoulder. Nice, guys. One more breath. And then walk your hands back to the inside of your right foot. Curl your back toes, straighten your back leg, plank. Lower just your knees to the mat. Lower your chest, keep your butt up in the air, lower your chin. And you're gonna snake your lower body back and your upper body forward for baby cobra. You can lift just a few inches off the ground or use your hands more. The more you use your hands, the likely your shoulders will be to your ears. So make sure that you draw them back and down. Inhale together. And then exhale, lower your chest, downward dog, press it on back. Lift your left leg up to the sky and breathe in. Stay here, breathe out. It takes often more than just one breath in a pose for your body to shift. So feel as you hold, feel the space being made in your right calf and hamstring, then lift your left leg higher. Good, step your foot all the way to your hands. Plant your right hand about 3 inches away from your right foot, and then turn up and open, left arm up to the sky. Inhale, lengthen your back leg. Exhale, hug your core muscles in, rotate. 3, 2. Inhale and look up. Exhale, lower your hands, don't lower your back knee. Step forward, lift your back knee, lift your back leg. Standing splits. Inhale to spread your toes apart from each other and get your outer left hip to the back wall. Yeah, we used the blocks before. Feel free to use or not use them. Then lower your right foot down. Halfway lift, inhale, bring your big toes to touch. Forward fold and exhale. And then bend your knees for Utkatasana, chair pose. Fierce pose. Make sure you can see your toenails without judgment. Sit low, lift your chest forward to the front wall. 3, or to where you're facing, especially if you're outside, no walls. 1 more breath in. Exhale, stand up, hands at chest center. Good, that was 1 each side, 1 more round each side. Here we go. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale and forward fold down. Stretch your legs, good. Halfway lift, inhale. Step your right foot all the way back, lower your knee. Sweep your arms up, inhale. And then bring your hands behind you and interlace them. Good, we're gonna hold the pose for a shorter time than before. Move your hips forward, lift your heart, lean back. 3. Lean back, look back, inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down inside your foot. Move your left foot out to the left wider and then crawl your hands forward. Move the block so you can see my hands. Yeah, you can tent them or have them flat. I prefer tented here. Take one more breath and then walk your hands back. Straighten your back leg, plank pose. Hold for your inhale. Lower your knees, your chest, and your chin. Exhale. Slide down, baby cobra. Inhale or cobra. You can go higher, like straight arms. Exhale, down dog. You can lower to your stomach or go straight back from where you were in your back bend. Lift your right leg to the ceiling. Breathe in. Stay here and breathe out. Good. Now lift your right leg higher. Inhale, up, up, up. Step your right foot to your hands. Exhale, pause. Left hand down. Inhale, right arm to the sky and look to your top thumb. Inhale here. Exhale, lower both hands, standing splits, left leg high. Bring your eyes to notice where your left toes are relative to something else, and then lift them higher. Yeah, I just went like 4 more inches. What about you? Good. One more breath in, and then forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, big toes touch. Forward fold, exhale out. Inhale to chair pose. This one's going to be a little different. Sit low, keep your chest forward. Bring your hands at chest center and prayer twist to the right. So you're going to hook your left elbow over your thigh. Push your hands together and turn up so that your eyes look to the ceiling. 3. Your chest is facing the right wall. 2. Inhale. And then exhale, stand all the way up. Lead with your chest first. Hands stay at chest center. Okay, here we go. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Inhale to lengthen. Step your left foot all the way back. Lower your knee. Inhale your arms up. Exhale your hands behind you and interlace them. Move your hips forward. Inhale, lift your chest. Go back. 3. Press your front heel into the mat for more support. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale your hands down to the inside of your right foot. Lizard lunge, but then walk your arms out a little bit more forward. Get low. Hug your right thigh to your right shoulder. And breathe. Walk your hands back inside your foot, plank pose, step back. Hold on your inhale. Lower your knees, your chest, and your chin on your exhale. And then snake into cobra, or maybe an up dog if you know that. And downward facing dog as you exhale. Lift your left leg to the ceiling and then hold and breathe. Notice where your foot is relative to something else. Your left foot, and then lift it past that, up, away from that. Good. Inhale here. Exhale, left foot to your hands and pause in the lunge. Left arm up, inhale, breath. Look to your top hand, 3, 2, and then lower both hands down, standing splits, right leg up. And same thing, you can notice where your right foot is and then lift it past that point. Lower your head, and now lower your right leg to meet your left. Halfway lift, big toes touch. Forward fold and breathe out. Utkatasana, chair pose. So your hips are lower than your chest. Bring your hands at chest center. Keep your hips lower than your chest and twist to the left. Good. Hook your elbow over your leg. If that's not possible, then you go in the direction of the hook without actually hooking. Twist your chest to the left. This is a twisting action for your spine. And now hug your inner thighs towards each other. Hug your core to your back and stand on up. Face the front. Inhale your arms up. Stay standing. Bring your hands at chest center. And then down at your sides. And stand in mountain pose with your eyes closed or open and fixated to a point. Nice, guys. Just a few more minutes of standing poses. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Exhale and forward fold down. Halfway lift to lengthen out your back. Step both feet back to plank pose. Nice, just like before, lower your knees, your chest, and your chin. So you have this little lower back bend. And then go into your cobra, baby cobra, or upward dog. Good, hold here. For upward dog, your hands are right underneath your shoulders and your thighs are off the floor. One more breath in. And then downward facing dog when you breathe out. And take your right leg up to the ceiling. And bring your right knee to your right elbow or higher. Good, and then take your right leg up and back. Bring your right knee to your nose. Get as close as you can. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. Look to your hands and step your right foot between your hands. Warrior two pose. Inhale to come up. And then exhale to settle into your legs. Meaning your right thigh is as parallel to the floor as possible. Reverse your warrior back. Look to your top hand. Stay here. Now we're going to straighten your right leg and keep reaching backward with a side body stretch. 3. Remember to breathe at the same time. And then bring your arms like warrior two with straight legs. And let's do Trikonasana triangle. So hinge over the right side of your hip and bring your right hand maybe to your shin or to the block. A prop is preferable if you have one. If your hand is on your shin, just remember to push your shin into your hand as well. Take one more breath as you hold here. Nice, and then drop your left hand to the floor and you're gonna shorten your stance and widen it for a twisted triangle. So bring your block, it's a good prop here, to the inside or outside of your foot. Left hand to the block and twist to the right. So inhale, lengthen your spine forward and push your hips backward as you twist for 3. For 2. One more breath. Good, lower your hands down to the ground. Step backward into plank pose again. Here's a little bit of a challenge. Let's do a right leg in plank. Just as 1 inch or 2 inches, not too high. Hold 3. Good, 3-legged downward dog. So right leg is gonna stay lifted in the air. Bring your right knee to your left tricep. So cross your body, kick it out so that your foot gets out to the side. You feel like you're in a game of Twister. Ground your back foot to the floor and lift your left arm up. Fallen triangle. Woo! Breathe and look backward. 3. And then you're gonna lower your hips. So I kind of find lowering the left hand a little bit helps. Good. Now you're in a V shape with your legs. Turn your chest over your left leg and fold to that leg. If you have a strap that's nearby, go ahead and use that. Put the strap around your left foot, and that helps you reach your foot more easily. 3. Let your upper body fall to your left leg as much as it can. Good. Use your hands to walk yourself back up. And now a little funky. We're going to come out how we came in. Right hand is going to be the support. Your left foot's going to ground to the floor and lift your hips up. Good. Drop your left hand. Step your right foot back. Downward dog. Give yourself a pat on the back for that. Lift your left leg to the ceiling. Breathe in. Bring your left knee to your left arm. Exhale. Inhale your left leg up and back. Bring your knee to your nose and then you hold here. Check that your shoulders are over your wrists and then bring your nose back to your knee. Look forward, step your left foot between your hands. Nice. And then come up to warrior two. Breathe in to lift and breathe out to settle. Into your legs. Again, that means in this case, bringing your left thigh as parallel to the ground as you can to get your hips low. Reverse your warrior back. Keep your front leg bent a lot. Stretch your side body. And then stretch it a little bit differently by straightening your left leg. 3. Breathe. 2. Good. Bring your arms back like warrior 2, and then Trikonasana, triangle pose. Make sure that both heels are in the same line. Left hand can go to the blocker floor. Nice, you guys. Breathe and look up at your top thumb. Steady inhale, steady exhale. Good. Lower your right hand, come to twisted triangle. So shorten and widen your stance. You want your chest to face forward and your hips to point backward. Right hand inside or outside of your foot. Outside of your foot is going to be more challenging to twist. Lengthen your spine and then rotate to the left. Good. Inhale, re-lengthen. Exhale, twist and look up. 3. This pose is kind of like an active adjustment of your spine for yourself. I always get a little bit of a crack. And lower both hands down to the ground. Sit and step backward into plank pose. This is a funky, challenging transition here. Lift your left foot up to a hover. If that's too much, lower your right knee. But keep your left leg high. 3, well, not too high, about 3 inches off the ground or 2 inches. Downward dog with your left leg up. That's it. Now bring your left knee to your right arm across. Kick your left leg out to the side. Lift your right arm to the ceiling and press the sole of your right foot to the floor. Fallen triangle. And then lower your hips slowly. Be mindful of your left shoulder and come up with your spine. Fold over your right leg, which is the one that's on your yoga mat. Good, and then lift your chest all the way up. To come out, we mirror it the same way. Left hand goes down in like the same line as your left hip. Sweep your right arm forward, ground your back foot, press up, open up, fallen triangle, and then right hand down, downward facing dog. Nice, you guys. Inhale here and exhale here. Come into plank pose. This is the last big push of energy before we start to settle down and get into our stretchy yoga. I'm going to bring your right forearm and left forearm to the mat with your palms facing down for forearm plank. If it's too much to try to get your palms flat, then turn your palms to each other or make a fist. Keep your hips in line with the rest of your body so they're not up like a V and not kind of saggy, but right in the middle. If you're shaking, it's working. Keep holding. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Soften your jaw and breathe. Lower just your knees and then your thighs. Lift your chest for Sphinx. Good. Point your toes back. And pull your chest through. So draw your elbows backward and your chest forward between your shoulders. This is a good back bend action, and it's also good to strengthen your back muscles for healthy posture on and off the mat. Keep pulling your chest through and take 3 more breaths. Soften your eyes. And then after that last breath, lower down to the ground. Create a little pillow for your head with your hands. And just let your forehead soften to the backs of your hands. Bring your hands down to the mat next to your chest and press up into a tabletop pose. Good. From tabletop, come into downward facing dog. We're going to do some good stretches of your hip. So step your right foot where your right hand is, or even wider. Lower your back knee. So you want your right foot almost to the edge of your yoga mat and hands to the inside. Stay here or lower down to your forearms for a lizard lunge. And for lizard lunge, your right knee is directly forward, hugging into your right shoulder. You can always lower your forearms onto blocks. So 1 block or 2 blocks. Just a few more breaths like this, and then we're going to change the variation. So as best as you can, just be here, breathe, and feel what you feel and where you feel it. Come back up onto your hands. And then you're going to go to a dragon's lunge. So your right toes are going to turn out to 2 o'clock and then roll to the outer edge of your foot. I don't know if you can see, but you should be able to see the sole of your right foot. That's going to allow you to lower your forearms again to the ground or to the block, or you can stay on your hands. If you stay on your hands, just bring your wrists a little bit more forward in front of your shoulders. And depending about your own hip structure or current state of your body, you might feel this in your inner right hip or outer right hip more. For me, I feel it in my outer, but that's where the tightest muscles of my body is. For the last 30 seconds, if you like, optional quad stretch. You can come up onto your left hand or keep your forearm down. Right arm's going to go back and hold onto your foot. If you do have your foot in the quad stretch, feel your hips re-sink towards the floor. Three more breaths. And this is in the yin portion of the practice. We are officially there. We're slowing down, lengthening, and holding the poses. Release your back foot if you have it. Everyone come up onto your hands and then step back onto your hands and onto your knees. And just for a moment, come into a puppy pose with your arms straight out in front of you. Let your forehead center rest to the ground. And one of the key alignment features here is that your hips are over top of your knees, different than child's pose. If you're feeling pretty flexible in your upper back, you can look forward and place your chin onto the mat. 3 more breaths. And then lift all the way back up. Walk your hands in a little downward facing dog. And lift your left leg up to the sky. Big inhale, fullest reach up, up, up. And then step your left foot to your hands or outside of your hands, all the way to the edge of your mat. Lower your right knee. Lizard lunge with your left knee facing straight forward and your forearms to the ground, or keep your hands to the mat or your forearms to blocks. There's lots of different options. Just see if you can go perhaps a little lower than you did earlier when we did this pose. Before we did it with our arms straight, stretched out. So now that you're a little bit more loose and warmed up, see what's possible. And sometimes what's possible is not that our body has to change, but sometimes it's giving ourselves the permission. It starts at a mental level. Come up onto your hands wherever you are, and we'll do the other variation, dragon's lunge. So turn your left toes out to 10 o'clock and roll to the outer edge of your left foot. If you're staying on your hands, move your wrists in front of your shoulders. It's a better angle for your wrist joint. Or again, lower back down to your forearms. Use your blocks, use props that are in your house to help you. Imagine that each exhale you take is an exhale that carries out anything that's not serving to you. Things like doubt or judgment, limitations, old beliefs. Stay here for the last 30 seconds. You can come up onto your right hand or stay on your right forearm for a quad stretch. Ooh. That's a sweet spot for me, meaning it's very tight and very necessary. But it's all relative to you, your body, your day. 3 more breaths. Nice. And then release your foot if you have it. Let's all come up onto your hands. And then bring your leg back into a tabletop, onto your hands and onto your knees. We're going to do puppy pose again, or if you have 2 blocks, you can do puppy pose with blocks just to go a little bit further. If you don't have the blocks, you can do what we did last time. Otherwise, bring your kind of triceps onto the blocks. You may have to move around a little bit. Your palms are going to stay up like you're pretending to be a shark in a swimming pool. And then let your forehead center drop down towards the mat. Keep your hips over your knees. If you have cork blocks like mine, they can sometimes be a little unforgiving to the elbows here, to the bony part. So you can always place like a blanket or something over top. Slow your breath down. And increase your capacity for patience, for calmness, for stillness. Just by staying for 3 more breaths. And then press yourself up. Good. Swing your legs around, come into a seated position. We'll end with a seated forward fold. So pretty straightforward. Bring your legs out in front of you. Actually face the back of my mat like I was. And then get your flesh back a little bit so that you can tilt your pelvis forward, and you'll forward fold over your legs. Inhale to feel the length. Exhale to release downward. So use your strap or belt to reach around the soles of your feet. If you need that reach, to grasp your hands to your feet. And in particular, if you're using a strap or belt, place it around the ball of your foot, and that'll pull your toes back towards your shins. You can even do that with your hands. Pull your toes back towards your shins, and you'll get that extra love into your calf muscles. And one more breath, you guys. And then lift all the way back up and lower onto your back. Good. On your back, pull your right knee into your right shoulder. Lower your left leg down to the floor. And then twist. You're going to move your right leg across your body. Scoot your hips to the middle of your mat. And reach out with your arms open like a T. Get your left shoulder out from underneath of you and keep both of your palms facing up. And your palms facing up is a hand gesture of reception. So you're receptive, your receptiveness to just your yoga practice, letting it all just sink into your body, all the benefits, everything you did. Come on to your back, take your time, no rush. Realign your hips in the middle and then pull your left knee into your left shoulder, extend your right leg down to the floor and breathe there. And then twist on your back as you scoot your hips to the middle of your yoga mat. And get your right shoulder out from underneath of you with your palms facing up. Look to the left. One more breath here. And then come on to your back for a happy baby. Have your hips be at the middle. Bring your knees outside of your chest and hold on to the bottoms of your feet or on the balls of your feet. And then press your low back to the mat. Press into your feet and stretch your inner hips, hamstrings for 3, for 2, and 1. Release into Shavasana, your final rest. Once again, ending with your palms facing up, with your arms slightly away from your body. Allow your feet and your legs to fully soften, relax the muscles. Align the back of your neck so that it's long instead of crunched. And then together, breathe in through your nose. Open your mouth and slowly sigh out. And then seal your lips. Soften your breath to its natural resting rate. So there's no yogic breath here. No forced breathing, no control. Instead, a few minutes of purposeful surrender. Where we'll practice patience and calmness by being still. Slowly bring your awareness back to your body. Take your time to roll to your right side. And press yourself all the way up to seated, facing the front of your mat, with your eyes closed and your hands on your knees, very similar to how we started. Feel that nice tall spine lift up through your neck, as if you could lift through the very tip top of your head, the crown of your head. And keep that length as you connect to what's beneath you, as you ground and root. And may those two opposites remind us the value of balance and appreciating the things that are in balance. Lift your arms up and overhead as you inhale. Gather up your whole practice. Bring it down to your chest center so you can take it with you. Bring your thumbs to your forehead center. Wonderful job, everyone. Thank you for joining me. You may open your eyes. Great practice. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions. For those of you who are on live right now, feel free to just type in anything after. I'll hang around for a minute. But thanks so much, guys. I'll be back here for the Mondays, 5 p.m. So I'll see you again next week. Thanks.